Hey everybody, this is Whole Views. My name is Corey, here to give you a quick review of Birds of Prey. So, first thing first, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Leave a like if you agree. If you want, shoot me an email. That email is going to flash on the screen, whattowatch337@gmail.com. And let's get into Birds of Prey.
Can I help you?
Why, yes, you can. I'm here to report a terrible crime.
And what terrible crime is that?
This one. Ah, shit, I told this all wrong. Quick history lesson. This all started when the...
Birds of Prey is fire. I don't want to oversell this thing and make you think, oh, it's everything for everyone. But if you're just looking for a basic good time at the movies, nothing too artistic and nothing hard to follow, Birds of Prey is the one for you. I would say 8 out of 10. Very entertaining. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn does a great job. The villain is good, of Ewan McGregor, along with the guy who plays Victor Zsasz. I didn't know his name, but I know the character of Victor Zsasz. Ewan McGregor plays Black Mask from the comics. I don't know how much you are into comics, and I think that will determine how much you like or dislike this film. Had a conversation with a few people before shooting the review, and they're comic book people, and the mindset is, well, we know Harley Quinn, we know she's kind of strange, you know, like we know that. It's like, no, buddy, I know that, you know that, but the average viewer may not know that. And I think that is the thing that stops this movie from being a 10 out of 10 perfect, or at least highly entertaining film. So entertaining that you can't take off for anything. So, not giving anything away, no spoilers or anything like that. The movie is told from the perspective of Harley Quinn, and she's just as crazy as the Joker from the comics. So there's a lot of time jumping, and if I had to say any negative about the film, it would have to be the way the story is told. I enjoyed the story. I thought the story was very good. It's just the way they chose to tell it may not appeal to everyone, and I totally understand that. It actually didn't appeal to me. I would have preferred just a straight linear story. But going back and forth in time, and jump to 2 days ago, then back to this moment, then jump to a week ago, then back to this moment, I didn't necessarily like that about the film, but everything else was great. I loved all the actors and actresses in it. I didn't feel anyone was miscast. I love that Ewan McGregor as Black Mask took it to like a level 10 of just being weird. He just I've never seen him act in a way like that, and I've followed his career all the way. I fell in love with Ewan McGregor back when he did Big Fish, one of my favorite old movies to look at with him in it. And he brought it here, and I really enjoyed it. I liked the nuance that he gave with his performance, where you don't really know everything that's going on in his head, and when something upset him, he was off the charts. I enjoyed it. I like the actress who played Black Canary. Her name, I think her name is Jurnee Smollett something. I don't want to mess it up, but I will say every time I see her, I keep thinking of East Bayou. That's the only thing that comes back to my mind. And she was a child in that, but she's grown up now, and she did a really good job as Black Canary. There's not a person, even Rosie Perez, like you would think, like Rosie Perez is, in her late 30s, early 40s with this film, but especially with some of the stunt work she does, and you're running around and doing stuff, and it's like, no, she carries herself very well. She's in her 60s, but she did very well with it. Again, I loved it, man. I loved Mary Elizabeth Winstead with her Huntress character, just so intense and like vicious. I loved all the fights, and one of the things that kind of set this movie apart to me is that the fight, everything that happened action-wise was relatively believable, or at least believable for the world that they put it in. Just really got a kick out of seeing a bunch of women tearing into a bunch of bad guys, or worse guys, and it just seemed real believable. I watched Batwoman for a few episodes, and she's about 5'7", maybe like 110, 115 pounds. That's being real generous. And like she's throwing people across the room. It just don't seem believable. Every action scene in this film seems believable. Especially the fight choreography in the last, the climatic scene. They don't really have big set pieces in this movie, but that last fight where it's like spinning camera angles and all the women is beating people up and like moving in coordination is real impressive. I really have nothing but good things to say about it besides the way the story was told. If they would have told the story differently, I think I would have definitely enjoyed it and came out of it and said 10 out of 10. But still really, really had a fun time with it. And no real negatives outside of that storytelling device. But on the Christian worldview side, ooh man, this one is not for everyone. This one is not for most Christians because it's rated R, and they let you know from jump it's rated R. They don't go for the nudity part of the rated R-ness. They really don't go for the gruesome violence part of rated R. They come with the curse words. So many F-bombs that you can't count them. And it's weird. I went with a guy that I know from the gym, and me and him, and he brought his 14-year-old son, and we all sitting down watching. We men, so we got a seat, in between us. And there's a scene in which like the guy who plays Victor's ass, like, not to give anything away, but like he cuts someone's face off, and like they don't show it. It's not buckets of blood or nothing like that, but you can see a shot where he's standing there holding a face, and the guy leaned over. He's like, "Hey, this ain't PG-13, is it?" And I was like, no, it's not PG-13 at all, bro. I don't know what gave you that impression. So, I could tell from, I know my guy that we went to fairly well, I went with fairly well, and I know that for him, the cursing was not horrible, but the level of violence that they hinted at kind of made him uncomfortable. And, everybody's household is going to be different of, what you want your kids to consume and not consume. But I definitely have to say for that one, if you got problems with cursing, don't even go. If you have problems with mild to extreme violence, don't even go. So, Christians beware. Watch at your own peril or risk. I don't know which word you feel best to fit there, but definitely wouldn't advise it for the Christian worldview. Outside of that, I enjoyed it. I feel like it was money well spent. I say it's an 8 out of 10. I say it was really good outside of the storytelling device. But I will admit, because of the awkwardness of the comic book characters that they chose to put on the screen, Harley Quinn being the main, and the other people that show up in the film, I gotta say that I don't think it'll reach huge audiences. And if someone goes in and says, well, I kind of didn't care for it, I would totally understand. But I enjoyed it. So that's pretty much all I got. Hope you come back and see me on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, or shoot that email.